Hi guys, it's the Covert Crow, and we're shooting in the car today for Tesla and Timepieces. This segment, 5 quirky things about me and my watches. I mean, if any of you have a spouse or significant other, or even a family member or a friend or whatnot, at some point, you know, we're a little bit of a watch geek in our own sense, and sometimes you may hear somebody say something like this.
You're such a nerd.
I can't tell you how many times I hear that from my girlfriend. And I love to be teased. I understand. It's one of those things. But hey, let's go over the 5 quirky things about me and my watches. All right? And we'll do that with the interactive touchscreen of my Tesla Model S. So, number 1. Why don't we go at 24/7? So, who here likes to have a watch on their wrist 24/7? I can tell you, I basically have a watch on all the time. The only time I may take it off is depending which timepiece is on my wrist, when I'm going in the pool, or if I'm going to be jumping into the shower. But I'll tell you, it's been over 40 years that I've been wearing a watch on my wrist, and it's not going to stop now. So, yeah, 24/7 is the first piece, but I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that are in the same boat as me. Number 2, dial shades. So depending on what the weather is like, or whether I'm going to be outside or inside, or whether I'm going to be going out in the evening or going out in the daytime in the sun, oftentimes it has an impact on what dial selection of watch I'm going to be wearing. So yeah, is it a quirk or is it just a personal preference thing? I can see it as a little bit of a quirk. You know, it's one of those things where I know everything's subjective and it's about each person and what they want, but no problem. I admit it's a little quirky. If I know I'm going to be outside in the sun, sometimes I like to wear a darker dial. If I know I'm going to be inside, I put on a lighter dial so it stands out a little bit more. But anyway, it also depends on what I'm wearing, and I like to coordinate with fashion as well. So that being said, yeah, it could be quirky, it couldn't, but I figured it in for this top 5 anyway. Number 3, seconds. God, my penmanship's terrible. Anyway, what that means basically is that I really prefer watches that have an independent seconds hand. I love to see the seconds hand showing off the movement of a watch. It's kind of like a pulse or a heartbeat when it comes to us as human beings. It is what makes the watch and shows the watch off and how that movement is working. Even if it's in a small sub-dial, I can take that too, but I really like the large independent seconds hand. And of course, I probably share that quirk with a lot of people. Anyway, going to number 4, sleeping. So, I, for one, believe this is probably going to be top on a lot of people's list as a quirk, because not everybody does it. But it's one thing that I've been accustomed to for a number of years. And I mean, why mess with something if it's not broken? So I usually sleep with a watch on my wrist every night. It's no big deal. Even when you're raising children, you like to know what time it is when you're doing things, especially when it's about feeding times and things like that for kids. But of course, it may not be a priority for some people, but for me, it's always been a priority to know what time it is at any given moment. And that's why I've always slept with a watch. As far as a test for comfortable wear, yeah, I guess it could be seen as that. But for me, I've never had a problem, whether it be a bracelet, whether it be a strap, nylon, leather, NATO, whatever it might be. It seems like I have no problems because I've adjusted to it for so long that wearing a watch on my wrist at bedtime is not an issue. I know for a fact, I have friends that take their timepieces off and put them on the bedside table. But that's just not me. So I guess that's a quirk. And lastly but not least, the big one. I know you're all thinking it, but I'm going to put it there, and that's sex. Yes, I do have a timepiece on all the time, and I have had over 30 years of sexual experiences with timepieces on my wrist. And I don't know, call me crafty, but I have never had a situation where a watch on my wrist has had a negative impact on my sexual experience. You know what I'm saying? Call it coitus, call it the wild thing, call it the nasty, the horizontal hustle, whatever it may be. I have a watch on during that time as well. So it is what it is. That rounds out the top 5 for the quirks for the Covert Crow. Listen, if you like and you subscribe and hit that bell icon, you'll be able to see further content coming. And I quickly forgot my wow moment, what's on wrist for today. Just as we wrap up, I'm wearing the Glycine Airman 44mm automatic. She's gorgeous. 3 time zones, baby. Anyway, this is the Covert Crow. Like, subscribe, hit that bell icon. More content is coming. And we will see you on the next one.